And welcome everyone to day 2 of Level Up. Really excited to see you all back again today. As John said, my name is Stacy Stearns, and I am the communications specialist for Yukon Extension here at the University of Connecticut, and I'm also your ACE president-elect. It is my pleasure to introduce our first panel today. It's a panel on using AI to create land grant impacts. So impacts, as we saw in our notes too, people are working on it today, but impact reporting plays a critical role in the success of an institution's initiatives, projects, and programs, ensuring accountability to funders, stakeholders, and other key audiences. Today's presenters will help us explore how AI chatbots can streamline the creation of impact reporting, transforming pre-existing content into effective and engaging impact statements in this hands-on session. So please join me in welcoming our presenters today, Kim Scotto and Nick Gosling, and they'll introduce themselves further. So I will turn it over to both of you.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacy. My name is Kim Scotto. I'm the Communications Manager for the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities Office of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resources. We are a membership-based organization that serves public and land grant universities in the US, Canada, and Mexico. And in my role with the Board on Agricultural Assembly, I work exclusively with agriculture programs. So colleges of ag and natural resources, experiment stations in ag research, and cooperative extension and outreach. Just wanted to give a quick plug because I know that many participants here today are from our member universities. We have many ways that you all can connect with us. I'll drop a link in the chat. This links to a page with information just about our comms team and our various initiatives. For example, we send out a monthly communications toolkit focused on a timely topic in the ag world. Past recent examples have included avian influenza, hurricane and disaster preparation and recovery, things like that. We also have a monthly newsletter, Facebook and Twitter accounts, and produce other publications and web features, all focused on promoting the stories and successes of our members. So please get in touch with us if you are not already. So today, I, along with Nick Gosling, who is the Communications Information Specialist at the University of New Hampshire's College of Life Sciences and Agriculture and the New Hampshire Agricultural Experiment Station, like Stacy said, are going to be sharing how you can use generative AI to streamline the creation of your impact reports. Our materials are going to be catered to the National Land Grant Impacts Database, but these GPT programs can be used to build your own templates for any reporting system that your organization may use. So please stay with us, even if you're not at a land grant university. As we mentioned in the description, this is going to be an interactive session. We ask you to come prepared with a press release, research summary, or other publication from your institution that you would like to convert into an impact statement. If you don't have one in mind, we have a couple examples from New Hampshire that you can use. Nick just dropped the link to that in the chat for you. Okay. So what is impact reporting and why is it important? Impact reporting is documenting and communicating the outcomes and benefits of your research, education, and outreach programs. Being able to demonstrate the success of these programs isn't just, about bragging. It's about ensuring accountability to funders, to stakeholders, to other key audiences, including the general public. Universities receive significant funding from public sources, and reporting on impacts can help show how you utilize these resources effectively. Having clear data-backed insights into how your program is making a difference can help you maintain your credibility and secure continued support. Also, just having a regular impact reporting schedule can help you internally evaluate and assess your programs and help you determine future priorities. Finally, impact reporting is a way to tie your institution's work to state, regional, national level conversations around important topics. We've been hearing a lot about community and economic development, environmental stewardship, food and national security, public health, AI, and so much more. But unfortunately, this does come with some challenges. Each institution handles reporting differently, but creating impact reports is often a collaborative effort between, communication staff, reporting and evaluation staff, faculty, leadership, administration. There can be a lot of people involved and potentially a lot of levels of approval required. This can cause challenges, especially when you add on having to navigate multiple reporting systems, priorities, timelines. Many institutions are responsible for creating their own impact reports and publications, submitting reports to funders, which there can be multiple for a single project, And they may also want to expand the reach of their institution's work by submitting to system-wide databases like the National Impacts Database. And of course, each of these systems ask for different information, have different formatting. It makes it challenging for inputters who may have to upload dozens of impacts each year, often on a tight reporting schedule. But as the demand for university accountability and transparency is growing, it's more important than ever that universities are able to efficiently, accurately, and effectively share their contributions, how they're improving society. So before Nick gives his demonstration on the GPT that he created to help streamline these processes, I'd like to give a brief overview of the National Land Grant Impacts Database, or the NIDB, and why we encourage folks to submit their impacts here in addition to their other mandatory reporting priorities. So the NIDB is a publicly accessible repository, showcases the individual and collective impacts of land-grant universities. By focusing exclusively on impacts and not including things like funding announcements or project proposals, it makes it incredibly easy for stakeholders to find the information that they need. The NIDB includes projects from all funding sources and is easy to filter and sort by institution, location, funding source, topic, mission area. I will quickly show you what that looks like if you're not familiar, and Nick has kindly put a link to the chat in the NIDB if you would like to follow along. So this is what the NIDB looks like. And if I wanted to pull up something, for example, from Nick from the New Hampshire Ag Experiment Station, I could pretty easily, just go in and type that and see their submitted impact statements. However, if I'm someone who is, not as familiar with how universities are structured or with the exact terminology, there's been a lot of conversations about, do folks know what an experiment station is? And that's part of the ag innovation rebranding that you might have heard about. I can also filter and find this information in a different way. Let's say I want to look for research and I want to pull up in the state of New Hampshire. And I can go even further than that. I can say, okay, I only want to see statements from this year, and I only want to see related to water resilience and management, because that's something that's important to me and I know is something that is important to UNH. I can see all of the samples that they've submitted. And when I click on this, you can see this is just for you to keep in mind, or when Nick shows his demonstration, that these impacts follow a standardized template. We have relevance, response, results, public value statement, and there are, defined instructions for what type of information needs to go into these fields. And then we also have focus area and tags, which are predetermined in the system that inputters would select from. So just kind of keep this format in mind later for when Nick is giving his demonstration. Okay, let me just switch back on over. Okay, so who is using the NIDB? Submitted statements are used by APLU in our communications and advocacy efforts, including in publications, on social media, and in the monthly toolkits that I mentioned earlier. We've recently realigned the tags that inputters use to categorize their statements with priority areas from Ag Innovation, the Cooperative Extension System, and other stakeholders, and also with APLU advocacy efforts around the Research Facilities Act, capacity building, and more. This makes it really easy for programs like Ag Innovation to link back to featured statements related to a particular category that's a priority for them. This is just a screenshot of their website where they have linked back to statements that were tagged as environmental stewardship. Also, while we mentioned earlier that the database is open to all funding sources and not exclusive to NIFA-funded projects, they're also big users of the database. You may notice that they frequently feature NIDB statements in their blog posts and in the newsletter that Maggie sends out. They regularly pull impact statements to develop talking points for meetings, speeches, presentations for USDA leadership, etc. So if you are interested in learning more about the NIDB, we held a training webinar last week. You can watch the recording or just read through some general information here. Post that link in the chat. If our impacts are used by other partners or pubs, are we notified? You know what, Tiny Lee, that's a great question. I don't think there's any sort of formal mechanism for that right now, but I'm gonna take a note of that and get back to you. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Nick, who will walk us through the GPT that he built for creating NIDB impact statements and how you can build your own GPT to serve your reporting purposes.
Thank you, Kim. I'm Nick Gosling. As Kim mentioned, I'm a research communicator at the University of New Hampshire. I manage research communications for the College of Life Science and Agriculture, and handle outreach and communications for the New Hampshire Agricultural Experiment Station. It's in this latter role that I really work with the NIDB, uploading impact statements, transforming research into impact statements. I've been interested in generative AI tools really since 2020, and have maybe a more targeted interest in custom GPTs, which we'll go over. And for doing day-to-day tasks like creating text for emails and newsletters, or drafting social media posts, or even creating outlines and initial drafts of articles. So this is sort of the demonstration part of the presentation. I'm going to drop in the link to this GPT that I created. You'll need to be logged into a ChatGPT account to use it. And if you want to get some demonstration materials together. And so let me make sure. There we go. So what is the Land Grant Impact Statement Writer, GPT? It's a specialized tool for crafting impact statements. I've been using it for I built it a little over 1.5 years ago, and have been using it since then, training it. And it really formalizes the information that is needed for impact statements. And I find that it's really great at ensuring consistency, while also making sure the necessary elements of impact statements are really highlighted and pulled out from the content that you add in. So you can use press releases, articles, research summaries, project descriptions, and really drop it into this GPT, and it will output the content in that impact statement formula. I'll do a quick demonstration here. Have an article, McIntyre Stennis supported project. I'm just going to, you can put the link to the content within the GPT. Find that just dropping text in there seems to work a little more efficiently. So this is the article from the web page. I'm just going to drop this text into the prompt. See, it gives us our title, our relevance section, our response section, results, public value statement, statement synopsis. Built it so that the institutional name or the brand name is highlighted in statement synopsis. And often I go through these just to make sure it makes sense. I might move, make sure brand names are in there, make sure researcher names are in there if I'm adding that. It outputs tags. Now I wouldn't say that the tags element is streamlined entirely. I don't think wildlife management is a as a tag or, but let me see. As a focus area, so it kind of fabricated that one. But and also will identify tags that you might add to this impact statement, and that usually does a pretty good job from pulling from the tags that are available. And so, I mean, that's pretty much the process. I drop the content in, I'll certainly go through it, edit it. Mentioned adding names of our researchers if we're doing that. You know, additional things you might pull together your resource links, and you know, all the information. But it really gives you kind of the bare bones that draft information that you need to drop into the NIDB and to build an impact statement. And then you can go in and add your styling and links and things of that, like that. So that's the tool. I hope everyone's able to access it. And we go through what custom GPTs are now. Let's see. Oh, it also follows AP style. And you can, you know, you can provide user feedback on this too. Mention, say, please mention the UNH College of Life Science and Agriculture in the statement synopsis too. I'll go back and update that information. You know, you might, I mentioned researcher names, you might add that to one of these sections. So yeah, you give that a shot. So I want to spend a little bit of time on what custom GPTs are and how they're used. And so they are, custom GPTs are really specialized AI models that that you can tailor for specific tasks. I mentioned creating email copy, social media posts. I've built you know, more than a dozen of these for everything from rewriting copy for you know, different platform to creating outlines for articles to integrating messaging for the College of Life Science and Agriculture. And they're really great at doing really specific tasks. Unlike a general purpose AI, unlike just going to ChatGPT and kind of working through doing a general session, these will retain all the information from each session. We'll learn, we'll we'll learn from your feedback, and kind of evolve and advance and provide, you know, and do the task more efficiently and effectively upon each use. You know, custom GPTs can be used to streamline repetitive tasks, enhance reporting, produce polished content that aligns with specific goals. Within ChatGPT, they're referred to as custom GPTs, but other AI models, for instance, Claude has something called, which is the same thing, called projects, and there's similar kind of custom GPTs or custom AI models for Microsoft's Azure and Google Cloud's Vertex AI. So let's see, go back to our slides here. Couple things to go over. You can create custom GPTs to do anything from transforming press release impact statements or even impact statements into press releases, articles into impact statements. They can assist in structuring response for presentations, organizing project information, even helping with customer service inquiries. A real benefit of custom GPTs lies in their ability to work as a purpose-built tool for the user's specific needs, rather than having to guide a general purpose model using prompt engineering. Each time when you're working in sort of a general purpose model, the custom GPTs retain the user information, make them more efficient and consistent. So they're really well suited for roles where accuracy, tone, and format are essential to your output. So who can create and build custom GPTs? So to build them, you need an OpenAI Pro account. However, to use them, you can use them on a free account. Pro users can, build actual GPTs. Just going to do a quick demonstration of how to build them. But if you're going here, this is create button, and that allows you to build them. But anyone can use them regardless of subscription level. Let's see. I'm going to just put a couple links to some resources I found. Yep, you have to sign up for a ChatGPT account, even a free-let one, to use any GPT. I'm going to put a couple links to some additional resources. Let's see. That page. And then a couple. Building them. So I can in terms of, I'll answer the question from Emma. It's a public use link, so anyone with that link has access to the GPT. And then Petra, do I see a difference between quality of outcomes from different providers, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, etc.? I've really focused mainly on ChatGPT over the past few years. I've played a little bit in a free account with Claude. I've heard that Claude is really effective for writing content, but I find that ChatGPT is generally ahead of the curve, at least for now, and just sort of invest my time in learning how to use that tool. I've heard good things about Claude's projects, and so I encourage you to check it out. Step-by-step process for building custom GPTs. So I'll go over this quickly. I want to leave some time at the end for Q&As. But first of all, define your purpose and goals for this this tool, for this custom AI tool, and really outline the end result, the output that you want from this this tool, and the process you want it to go through. One way that I found that's really effective for creating at least the bare bones of a new GPT is really just to use ChatGPT itself, identify the project, the goals for this custom AI model that you're building, the process you want to go through from how the GPT will interact with the user and vice versa, and what you want for an outcome. And then you will take that information and sort of build the GPT on the back end. There's a 8,000 character count word character cap for instructions. That includes spaces. There's just a short description, name. Like I said, you can the ChatGPT model can even suggest all this information for you. You can even have it develop its own kind of image using DALL-E. Conversation starters are these prompts at the beginning that you can use if you want to kind of get the process going. And then knowledge articles. Knowledge articles, if we go to the impact statement writer, I've been updated knowledge articles about the format that for the NIDB, and then just general, a list of the tags, focus areas, and just general guidelines for each section. You can upload those that information in the knowledge section, and then finally, once you have that base down, I tend to and you can use this prompt area to create it, but I find it's more effective just to use the ChatGPT to develop the base, and then once you have that down, I test it 2 or 3 times. I'll upload, I'll go through the process, each in a new session, and then have it review its internal instructions and suggest updates based on that process, and go back to the instructions, update that information, and do it over 2 or 3 sessions. I try to update them once a year, but if I have a really successful session with any of these custom GPTs, I'll just ask it at the end, okay, let's review your instructions. What information do we want to update in the back end based on how the session went? Yeah, I'll add a couple more links on building custom GPTs. And that's mainly what I had. How are we doing on time?
About 5 minutes, if you guys want to answer a few questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
Nick, one that I saw that came in was asking if you see differences between quality of outcomes from different providers, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, etc.
yeah, my main focus has been on ChatGPT. I mentioned I used a free account from Claude. One of my colleagues at UNH built some really successful projects with a Claude paid account. I've heard that in terms of output, writing output, Claude is more effective. I used it initially, when these generative AI tools came online, because they were the word messaging cap was a lot higher in Claude, but I don't think that's the case anymore. So I've just kind of focused on ChatGPT. Intersections, I'll answer that one. In terms of signing up for a free account, I don't know why they want your birthday. Sorry. Any other questions? Use perplexity.ai. Nice. I'll have to check that one out. I mentioned that these tools.
Justin Jackson, professor of English at Hillsdale College.
Hey.
I shall make him a sustainer.
If our impacts are used by other partners or pubs, are we notified? That's first one's a question for Kim. Any restrictions when we pass this custom GPT onto? No, the one thing in building these, you have the option to make them private or public, right? And so if you want to just use it for yourself, I have a few that I use for like various things, but maybe you want to use it within your institution, make the link public and you can easily share it. How long does it take to refine a model? Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying for the first part, that was Tanya Lee's question. We could do a better job about sharing when APLU is using them. We do share out after the NIDB comms team generates all the materials, we do send out to all the inputters, here's the materials that we used your statements in. However, I'm very frequently sharing on social media, say it's like National Water Quality Month or something. I could just go to the NIDB, I look for the water quality, water resilience tag, and we'll share those out. And if you're managing your social media platform, you see that I shared that, but yeah, we could do a better job there. Maybe we could connect better with NIFA for when they're pulling them as well. So thank you.
See a question, how long does it take to refine the model once you start using the test data? Once you get to like 5-6 sessions, when I say session, what I would suggest is potentially doing a new session for each impact statement. Sometimes the information will bleed over into the next one. However, every session you do within this custom GPT, it will learn from. All that information will be retained. Whereas each new session with a more general model like this, that information isn't necessarily shared between sessions. So, once you use it for 4 or 5 sessions, it kind of gets it down sometimes sooner. But it's a learning process. So the more you use it, the more it becomes effective and at what you're trying to create.
Please join me in thanking Nick and Kim for this really helpful session. I know I've been using Nick's custom GPT because he shared it with the Northeast first, and we really appreciate it. With that, I'm sure they would be happy if you reach out to either of them. They'll drop their emails in the chat. I'm going to turn it over to Lori to introduce our next speaker. Thank you, John.